I have spent a good amount of time and effort during the last few weeks figuring out the details of my handlebar upgrade on the Zooter. So I've decided to do a video just on handlebars. And in this video, I'm going to give you as much of a detail as I can, not just what I have done with the scooter, but especially for the bike. I have gone through a number of handlebars with the Brompton, and they are absolutely crucial. Whether you want to maximize comfort or speed or weight, the handlebar issue cannot be ignored. And in most cases, what the manufacturer is going to sell you is probably not going to be the best handlebar choice for you. I'm going to start by looking at the Birdie. The Birdie has excellent front suspension, possibly the best one in the business, so you don't really need to worry about comfort. But on the other hand, the straight bar may not be versatile enough for you. They do offer the bullhorn bar on their racing design at least, so you can get something more sporty that allows you to have a vertical grip. And this is what it looks like when you fold it. The Birdie is quite tolerant when it comes to folding the bike with any kind of a handlebar, because whatever you put there is just going to hang over here. I wish I could find a photo of the Birdie fold from the other side, but you probably get it. Basically, unlike with the Brompton where you have a very, very precise snug fit, the Birdie is kind of loose. You just hang the handlebar over here, and that's basically all there is to it. The reason the vertical grip is so important is because if you want to exert power, if you want to accelerate to pick up speed, you want these two bones in your forearm to be not twisted, to look like this. If you have a horizontal bar, then the way we humans and primates in general rotate our wrist bone is by moving these two bones, so that when you have a straight bar, just like this one on the Birdie, the only way to grab onto it is to rotate your wrist into a horizontal position, which means that these two bones are going to rotate. If you don't believe me, just hold out one of your bare forearms and touch the bones with your other hand and rotate the wrist, and you'll actually feel these two bones moving around. So the only way you're going to eliminate stress and pain in this area and maximize the power, the force that you can deliver to the handlebar when you are really pedaling hard is to have a vertical grip. Now that could be a low grip, like here. You have to bend over to really grab it. And there are some horn bars which have the horn pointing up, which is a lot more comfortable but less aerodynamic as a grip. The Molton comes with all kinds of handlebars you can imagine, and I'm on the Portapedal website. It's a great site with excellent high-resolution images. I'm putting a link below, and make sure to check out the links as always, because you can really see what you're getting. I would say this is one of the best retailer websites there is. And of course, you can do research or you can buy your stuff from them as well, especially if you don't live near a store like Befold in New York. So this is a very, very comfortable handlebar. My only gripe against it is the grip on the end. And you can't have a great experience without properly selecting both the handlebar as well as the grip, but more on that later. Molton's really come with absolutely everything. This is the downward bullhorn bar. They have some upward curved bars as well. Really anything you can imagine. The Molton is not a foldable bike. Folding is not really a consideration here. And then there is the Brompton. This is the high-rise bar. This is the bar that my bicycle came with. In the beginning, before I started properly clocking my electric kit from Grin, it was clocked at 350 watt, which is really, okay, it's a lot more powerful than having no electric support at all. But I would see some of the really aerodynamic road bikes in Central Park slowly passing me because they would lean ahead. You would not believe how much the difference is between having this high grip, which is more comfortable for you to sit on your spine and so on, as opposed to have a straight bar, which is a much more sporty grip. This is more or less a straight bar. It has a little bit of a rise, but it's a pretty aggressive low grip design. I'm not crazy about the grip. I understand that it's trying to be a little bit ergonomic. It's not entirely just a cylindrical shape, but it's still not competent. I changed mine from this riser bar to something more similar to this, but I also have a titanium bar, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. These are the Brompton handlebars. Brompton is unique because they have this bar, which is probably the most unique handlebar I've ever seen for a folding bike or even just a small wheel bike. Look at how many options it gives you. You can grab it here around the top. You can have a not really a vertical but also not totally horizontal grip, like a pretty aggressive and comfortable grip. You can grab it at the bottom with a reverse horizontal grip. You can grab it on the side in this corner or on the top. So how many grips do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's amazing. That's way better than what you have with any of the other bars. And the whole thing is wrapped in a foam, so you have a little bit of comfort. But the only problem with this bar is, apart from the fact that it's going to be pretty heavy, this is going to be the heaviest bar of all of them. But in addition, you can only put a really high quality ergonomic grip at the end. You can't put any of those over here, and they would really be needed, especially when you're racing somebody and you want to grab it here. What you can do though is you can make your own homemade grip by using some fabric from an old t-shirt or a part of an inner tube and wrap it around this handlebar tube with a handlebar tape so that you are going to get more of a fat, easier to grip interface to grab onto. That's just an idea. What I have is very similar to this one, but it's made out of titanium. It's very aggressive. Bikes, once I installed it, didn't have such an easy time trying to pass me. And of course, I eventually clogged the motor at 500. From 500 on, even with this handlebar arrangement, they would have a really hard time keeping up. But I wanted to be as aggressive as I could. But the problem is it's really uncomfortable on long rides. If you constantly lean forward like this, you're going to have lower back pain or just discomfort, so it's no fun. So what did I do? I'll show you what I did. I installed the biggest, most menacing ergon grip, which means I can grab it at the bottom, the side, or the top. And what that means is I get basically this kind of an effect, and maybe a little bit higher as well, but in a much more light configuration. And great grips all around, bottom, the side. None of them are cylindrical. I always have some kind of an ergonomic interface. Now, one thing that's important and people ignore it is that you could buy titanium bars from no-name manufacturers, probably in China for the most part, for not a lot of money. I bought mine. It's a no-name, no-label bar, which I have used for at least the last 5 years. No problem at all. It's very light, but I bought it not for the lightness, obviously, but because of the incredible dampening you get from the side, but only if you put weight on the bar. That's very important. Just a part of your upper torso and your arms are not providing enough weight for these bars to really vibrate much. So they're not going to absorb anything. So what you need to do is to attach a weight primarily at the end. In my case, the weight is going to be attached around here because I'm going to be putting my second battery up there. And make sure to subscribe and to stay tuned for future videos because that upgrade is going to be fully covered on this channel as well. But I'm just saying, unless you want to have an H&H or some kind of a brand name titanium bar, you're not going to pay a lot. And you can buy a used bar. I think I sold one of my used titanium bars. That was a seat post, also no name, but worked very well. I think I got $15 for it after a year of use on eBay. So you can get them used for practically nothing. and they save so much. Whether you want it for the lightweight or the dampening or both, it's totally worth it. Now, one important thing is the weight. There are handlebar bar and weights made mainly for motorcycles. The idea here is that, see, the motorcycles don't have anything ergonomic because they have to twist this thing. They really should have come up with some kind of a better design than a cylindrical design, but this is what you get. And when you're trying to hold on to a bike at 80 miles an hour on the highway, it really is going to vibrate. So that's why there are these bar and weights that install onto the motorcycle. They cost practically nothing. They come in various shapes and diameters. I'm sure you can find something that either fits your bicycle or can be adapted to it. And once again, I'm putting a link below. There are tons of these products out there. And this seems like a longer, heavier one, which is probably what you would need for a bicycle. Obviously, for a motorcycle, they are worried about the vibration, and you really want to get, if you have a titanium bar, the dampening out of it. So you want the bar ends to move a little bit, which takes weight. Like these ends, as you're hitting the potholes, they're supposed to dampen, they're supposed to move up and down. Even if it's just a few millimeters, it does make a difference. And I know that it does because I have tried it with my handlebar bag. I definitely want that on my Brompton because it just makes such a difference. As I mentioned, no handlebar is going to give you much without a proper grip at the end. You can get this. I have something like this on the Zooter. You have seen it on other videos. I have a bunch of videos and shorts on my Zooter. It's up to you if you want to get this. This allows you a little bit of a vertical grip if you want to speed up, if you want to kick your scooter harder. So this is the sporty part of it, but it's not very long. So you are grabbing onto it by maybe 3 fingers. The cork idea is really good. I love it. This is something specific to Ergon. I haven't seen anybody else doing it. And I recommend that you buy your grips from them, even if they are a bit more expensive, because their engineering is really the best. Also, the workmanship is excellent. I have owned the flat bar end. I have owned, that was on my Birdie. It must be at least a decade or 15 years old. It works like new. It's been on so many bikes. It's been on my Birdie, my Brompton. It's on my Zooter right now. And this is the big bar end. Not the cheapest, obviously, but $70 is not the end of the world if this is going to last the rest of your life. And it gives you so much comfort. People have been asking me if that's going to disturb your fold on the Brompton. Well, that depends upon where you're putting it. I would not put it here because first of all, it would look ridiculous. You have this rise and then you have another rise on the top. No. But the way I use it, I put it on the end of a straight bar and the bike folds very well. But you have to take measurement. Measure the fold and see how much space you have here when the handlebar is fully folded, and get the exact measurements of what you have here. I don't have the measurements of the height of it. They are giving it to you as almost 10 inches. I'm not sure if that's this distance. It might be. It might be from the bottom up to here. It might be. You have to go to the manufacturer's website and get precise millimeter precision measurement, and then you measure your bike and see if you can fold it or not with this kind of a grip on it. Again, with this quirky Brompton bar, you want to get just a flat Ergon bar end, and if you want more support here, then something homemade, as I suggested earlier. I hope this helped. I definitely recommend the titanium bar if you can get it. Even if you're getting one of these riser bars, I would get it in titanium because it's not expensive, it's lighter, and you always have the option of maybe putting some weight here or some kind of a handlebar bag. That's really going to be a game changer in terms of reducing vibration and stress on your forearm. This is it for the current video. Make sure to check out the links below. Like, subscribe, share, and
I'll be back.